Okay, so you've chosen your theme for your project, and now you're going to choose an object to photograph which could be related to the theme. You've mind mapped it and you've thought of all different avenues you could go down, and we're going to now be in the position of taking some photographs and doing drawing. So today you'll need a camera or a phone. Phone is perfectly good to take your photographs on. And you also need some basic art materials, so some brown paper, a couple of pencils if you have a HB, so hard black, and then a drawing pencil such as 2B or 3B would be fantastic. Graphite stick, either a white pencil or white chalk, a pen, always have a rubber on hand just in case, and of course your pencil sharpener. Okay, and also you'll have had to have thought beforehand of a range of objects which could be symbolic of your theme. Now these objects might not actually end up being developed later in the project or on the final piece, but as you do more, some of them will be. First of all, think, do you want some black material to put underneath the object, or is it important for you that the surface is light so you have a defined shadow? And what are you going to actually use? Now it doesn't actually have to be a very pretty kind of object. It could be something quite, like trash, like if you were doing dystopia, like an abandoned city street, you might take something such as a can, litter, crush it. That can be a fantastic thing to draw. Or, an abandoned bottle on its side. Some of you may have chosen themes like travel. So, maybe you choose a hat or some memento or souvenir from the travels. Reflection, if you're doing portraiture, you could do a drawing of the mirror, but also have your face reflected in the mirror to have a bit more of a challenge. Think about surface qualities, things that are going to challenge you in your drawing techniques. So, for example, a trophy with a very shiny surface will not only make an interesting photograph, but also show off your drawing skills. They could be family things, so children's toys, or a photo frame if you're doing mementos, a photo frame with a photo of family in it. Or even, those of you doing hobbies, maybe musical instruments or sports items. Or even an open, abandoned book, on its side there. My theme is going to be an empty, desolate coffee shop. So the people have left and it's a desolate place. So I've collected together some items that might be in this shop. So to start off with, what I would do, I'd be aiming to take at least 10 photographs. And I might start off with a few items and think about the angle. Notice I've turned the lights quite dark and I put a lamp on. That gives you very defined light and dark, and it really helps you not only have dramatic photographs, but also to make strong drawings because it exaggerates 3D form. That's why in the art room we tend to have quite bright lights on the ceiling which give quite dramatic light coming down. Okay, if you haven't got a torch or anything at home, just try and wait till it's quite a duller moment in the day and then go over near the window or turn the artificial light on in the ceiling so you have kind of a strong light to give some contrast. Okay, so what I would be doing is thinking about the angle, so maybe come over to the right, come over to the left. Am I going to zoom in? Am I going to go, take my eye level right down? Am I going to be looking through things so I have the distortion of one object behind the other? And then you might actually then want to simplify it right down and say, after that, maybe you just have one or two or even just one object in there that you really focus on and do a strong drawing. So you've taken at least 10 photographs, different angles, different eye level, different objects. You could even change the amount of light, but then of course you can change that by editing later as well, as long as you have some good, decent photographs to choose from. By the way, if you take photographs and you don't like it, don't delete as you go along, keep them, because actually what we tend to do is put a circle or a cross over the ones that you've done, and the examiners really like that. So if you took 3 photographs and the third one, or even the first one was the best one, and you cross the 2 that aren't quite right and circle the one you chose, you get much better credit for that. So always just wait, don't delete straight away, keep even the ones that went slightly off. Very useful to annotate and show that you've made some good design decisions. So I'm just going to stick to this teapot here, and then when we do the drawing exercise, I want you to do similar to what you do with your photographs, but simpler. So you would have taken at least 10 photographs, different angles, different eye levels. With the drawing, we're going to go for 3. One will be like a really developed drawing, and the other 2 will be alternative side views or heights, or with another object. Okay, so some variation is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, so some people like to start off with a HB just because it's so light, and you can just easily work into it and define it. I'm going to go straight for the 2B and just work a bit harsher than I would be if I was working for myself, because I want you to see at home what I'm doing. Okay, so just going to sketch out there. So you've chosen the object that is relevant to your theme. Now don't worry too much thinking, at the moment I don't think this is going to be anywhere in my development of my final piece, because the examiners have specifically said we want good quality drawings, and then we want drawings that are actually relevant to the actual final piece. So we're going to start off by making sure we have some sound, strong observational drawing to begin with. So notice to begin with, I've worked all the way over the drawing. Some bits are in the wrong place, but I'm not going to correct them too much to begin with, because just like when I drew the eye picture last week, if I get too fussy with it, then I won't want to adjust it later if I know it's in the wrong place. So I can see already this needs changing. Now, with observational studies, you can do some linear studies, so just line, but definitely include some fully blown tonal studies as well. So I've done one drawing there. I quite like how that's kind of worked out from the beginning, but you might find the first one goes a bit wrong. It's up to you. You can change the scale, so I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to turn this around and draw it from over here. And have the light on to give dramatic lighting, but I don't think it's really helping with my video, so I'll just turn that off for a minute. So what I'm doing now is I'm not colouring it in. It happens to be a white teapot, but it could be a purple or blue teapot. I'm shading in the light areas. I'm going to keep this monotone, so black and white. So I'm seeing where the bits that are sticking out are catching the light. Up there, actually taking the dark background away takes away a need to even have an outline on the object, because we try and do really gradual shading, but sometimes we're left with an outline and straight away that flattens an image. So taking the background away, it can be quite a powerful technique. Of course, you could add things into your background as well, so maybe some people, or the street scene if you're doing an object that would actually be outdoors somewhere. To get those gentler tones going in. What some of you didn't do with the previous project I got you to do, is you didn't do gradual shading, so where you push down lots of times to get a darker tone and then gradually pull it away and take the pressure off, so having more subtle. Some of you did, but some of you didn't, so just try and do a bit more of that. Now remember, the rubber is a drawing tool too, it's not just a rubber about mistakes, so you can pick up kind of reflections coming into it once you've done areas of tone like that. use the rubber to pick up areas of reflection as well, like a sheen or whatever coming into it. And then go back into the white or the dark to pick up areas. Okay, so I've just done a very quick 10-minute study. You're going to get on with this task now and work it more. I just want to see you really doing strong observational, looking at the object, drawing from different angles, and then doing one that's really developed, as well as your photographs. So 3 drawings, one of them really developed, different angles, and your photographs. And that's your task for today. Okay, look forward to seeing your work. Have a good lesson. Bye-bye.